Hello, beloveds, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me on my journey as I continue to describe the book that I wrote that I call Manifesting Recovery. It's a book about all of the things I have experienced along the way, in all the ways that we can be addicted, either to substances, to people, to ideas, to beliefs, or just simply addicted to the chaos of life. Therefore, we are all in need of recovery. One of the biggest lies I hear from addicts is that they think that their addiction is solely about them, that whatever they choose to do, it only affects them, and it doesn't bother anybody else, and everybody should just leave them alone. Well, I'm here to say that that just simply is not true. And on more of a spiritual paranormal aspect, if I could share a story with you. In my meditations, sometimes I have conversations with God. And God and the Holy Spirit have been my greatest teacher. And I remembered a time when I was a small child, and I used to help my grandmother and my grandfather on Saturdays prepare for the Sunday meal. I would help them cook, I would help them clean, I was always by their side. And then Sunday would come along, and the entire family would come and eat this dinner. And inevitably, everybody would stand up and go to the living room and turn on the TV, and they would have their own conversations, and they would have their own fellowship apart from my grandmother and my grandfather. Well, me being who I was, I continued to help wash the dishes, dry the dishes, keep them company, never left their side. Then it would be time for dessert. And my grandmother's desserts were divine. I could never understand why simply the sight of that cake didn't get everybody out of that other room, turn off the TV, and come and have a piece of that divine cake. But for some reason, they just never moved. So I would get my plate and run up to my grandparents and say, "I'll have a piece of that cake. I helped make it, and I've never left your side, and here I am," thinking that that would be enough. But my grandmother would say, "It always tastes better when we all eat it together." So that, to me, just meant I wasn't getting cake until everybody else got to sit down. So I would go and try and recruit everybody from the living room. "Come on, come in the kitchen, there's cake." And they would never move until my grandfather would come in the room and he would say, "Grandma says it's time for cake." And then begrudgingly they would turn off the TV and make their way back to the table. And everybody would have a piece of this amazing dessert. And I would watch my grandmother with the dessert in front of her, a piece for her, but she never ate it. She just sat back and watched everybody enjoying cake, and she would smile. Now in my meditations, that story was described to me, that even though I have loved God with my whole heart, and I have always done the mundane things of washing the dishes and keeping the company and doing the shopping and counting the pennies and reading the recipes, it wouldn't be enough until everybody came to the same table to have a piece of cake. So what I'm saying to you here today is, if you are struggling in your addiction, we are all struggling in your addiction. If you are struggling because your loved one is addicted, we are all struggling because you are watching your loved one be addicted. Until everybody comes to the table and until everybody experiences recovery, we will not be whole. We are not singular people alone. We were not meant to be singular people alone. God itself is not a singularity, a father in heaven, a mother. It is a duality or a trinity, but it is not a singularity. So beloveds, if you're still listening to this video today, I hope that if you have recovered, you will reach out to others who are in need of your help, and that if you need recovery, that you would find a way to ask for help or to be around somebody else that could help you. Because when one of us suffers, all of us suffers, because there is no singularity. We are not alone. We are all inside the loving body of God, and we all need to find recovery together. I wish you all the love and the light that you need to find your way, to find your path, to manifest your own recovery. Namaste.